Day, everybody. Welcome to Robin in Cambodia podcast. Today, I'm with the Khmer Dog Whisperer. Bing.
Hello សួស្តីបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទ My name is Rattana and I am a dog trainer in Cambodia, also known as the Khmer Dog Whisperer. And thank you, Robin, for having me on your podcast.
Thank you for being here. I know Rattana because where do we know each other?
That is weird.
We know each other from.
Wait.
I messaged you because I was like, I'm interested in your canine stuff.
Yeah, and then somehow we all know the same people.
Rosie, your sister,
right. And Tavi.
Sotevi.
Yes. Exactly.
So we have some mutual friends, and one day I did a cool collab video with Rattana. Watch a little clip right here. Edit this part. Yeah, so that's Rattana. Rattana does some really cool stuff here in Cambodia.
So I work with the Child Protection Unit, and as an assistant with my canine. She's a search and rescue dog. And so what we do is we, as part of my job for the MOI, Ministry of Interior, I train canines for search and rescue. So part of my job is for any case that has a missing child or missing person, if we are called upon, we are on call 24/7. Whenever we are called, I usually cordon off the scene, and then I try to figure out what I need to do with my canine to find the missing person. Where was the last missing person seen? I do my interviews and I question the witnesses, and then from there what I do normally is I'll have my dog track. It's more like trailing. I'll have her sniff the last known article of the missing person, and then have her go from there, from the last known eyewitness location of where the missing person was seen or whatnot. So for example, if the last place the person was seen is at the backyard, so therefore that will be my starting point. And then I'll have my canine sniff the article of clothing or article, whatever she needs to sniff, to go track from there. Usually it's within a day, but if it's after a day, it takes a day or two. It's kind of harder for the dog to do his job because now the air and the scent in the area is contaminated by other scent, other humans and other animals and whatnot. So it could be anything that kind of distracts the animal. So yeah, so that's what we do. I am there as an assistant to search on a crime scene, and then I'm also there to help coordinate whenever I'm needed, because as a canine officer, I'm also bounded by my duties as a police officer to assist the crime scene whenever I'm needed.
Can you give a recent example of, like, in Cambodia, which province or?
Okay, so recently, a month ago, in Kampong Chnang, there was a case of a missing 3-year-old. So when we got out there, I did my interviews like I normally do. I ask all the witnesses. First, I want to speak with the parents and ask them the last known location, what were you doing, whatnot, just to follow up to make sure that I have a good understanding of their train of thought, even though I know this is a tragedy that they lost their child. The child's been missing. They can't find it. They have a search party. The search party already searched, couldn't find the child. And then they called me because they realized that they're needing help. So this is one of the things that I come across. I'm not called right away when I should be called right away, which actually enhances the chance and the probability of finding the missing person faster. So that's one of the things that we're working on, trying to get the message out there to the local provinces and the local police by doing what we've been doing. We've been teaching in the provinces on the quality, or I don't know if that's the English word for it.
Responsiveness?
Yeah, I guess responsiveness.
Do it quickly. Call me now.
Yeah,
don't wait.
Like you wanna kind of explain the importance of the ability of what a canine can do and how fast a canine can do it versus a human, regarding searching not with their eyes but with their nose. You know what I mean? Canines, their olfactory is like 10 100,000 to a million times, 100,000, whatever, stronger than the human. So they can really sniff what they need to sniff out as long as they're trained properly to find what they need to look for. So in that case, in Kapong Chnang, where the child was missing, we were on scene. Within an hour, Jazz pulled me in the direction of the back of the house. Back of the house, there were about 5 ponds. By the way, my dog is canine. His name is Jazz.
Right.
You know that. Anyway, so we will pull to the back of the house, and she's indicating in the ponds that the scent is very strong in one of these ponds, but we don't know which one because there's 5 of them, and she's just pointing in one direction. We can't cross over all the ponds. So my idea was the process of elimination was just start vacuuming the water out. Unfortunately, I think the child has drowned. Right? So I said, we got to vacuum the water out, find the body. And they're like, well, we've already searched. And I said, well, my dog is indicating in this vicinity, within this area, around this area. So she's indicating the scent is strong in this area, but she really wants to go sort of northeast from the house. And then while they were preparing to drain out the pond, Jazz and I went on a break. One of the ponds that she indicated that she wanted to get to is when maybe about less than 10 minutes, the body was found. So I attribute it to Jazz indicating to the ponds because they swear up and down, all the locals, all the local authorities, with their help, they searched all of it and they couldn't find the body, but they didn't search all of it, I think, because that pond wasn't probably in their sights. So they thought maybe the 3-year-old couldn't have gotten there, but he did. And so I guess that's one of the cases that Jazz worked on, and she helped locate the child. Unfortunately, he drowned. Cause of death was drowning. So yeah, on a lighter note, Jazz did a good job.
Yeah.
So this is just one of the cases where a canine is good for doing something like this, where we're starting to shed some more light on it about what canines can do to help out humans.
What was the response from the local authorities when they were like seeing Jazz do the thing and you were like, Jazz says it's right there? Do you believe it? Were they like hesitant? They were like, nah.
Well, scratch my back here. So, okay, before we go any further, let me explain. I have a little back injury, so don't mind me.
Do what you need.
I was in a car accident in 2018.
Yeah.
So my back a little hurt.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, let's get into that.
When the story flows into that.
Yeah, so when the authorities saw what Jazz did, they were really impressed. Some of them even whispered to each other, said, wow, they should have called earlier if they had known. So with that being said, in my mind, I thought, wow, they didn't know. Okay, so that means the word needs to get out more to the provinces about what canines can do. So it's just a matter of training and, training the local provinces and the local authorities about search and rescue, what a canine can do. And I'm glad to continue doing what I'm doing with the Child Protection Unit, assisting on cases that needs assisting with the canine. So that's what I do. I'm always on standby, 24/7 with my canine. But for now, I'm kind of working on that, trying to get another canine because I'm the only one, and I want to be able to have other people trained in this field, not just me. So if anyone's interested, message me. If you want to learn about being a canine search and rescue dog handler in Khmer, message me. Okay.
You can say that in Khmer one more time. I'll clip it for a TikTok.
ឧទាហរណ៍បើសិនយើងចាប់អារម្មណ៍យើងចង់ធ្វើឌុកលោកគ្រូអញ្ចឹងណាកាន់សំណក់ទៅជួយស្វែងរកមនុស្សចង់រៀនជំនាញស្វែងរកមនុស្សហ្នឹងជាមួយសំណក់ហ្នឹងតំណងមកលោកគ្រូបានអត់អី message មកឲ្យសួរមកបានអូខេតាម page របស់លោកគ្រូហ្នឹងហ៊ានរតនាបាទ
Thank you.
អសរខ្មែរ on Facebook page on Facebook.
When we did a Jazz K9 consulting again.
Oh yeah. Jazz Sar K9 and about Jazz. So I wanna actually continue her legacy as a search and rescue, and I don't want to be the only one doing it. I want to have other people doing it. So I want to expand and share my knowledge
So you said only one.
Yeah.
Only one.
Yeah.
Only one in
Yeah.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's it.
I mean,
Really?
yeah. You're surprised. You sound surprised.
That's
I can't prove that fact, but I know from working in the field and from doing this for the last, since 2017,
right.
I have not seen or heard of another search and rescue dog.
In Cambodia.
And being on the field, working with
Child Protection Unit.
and working with the Cambodia National Police and working with the military, I've not seen another search and rescue dog. Either NGO, volunteer group, or of the like. So that's why I can say indefinitely I am the only one.
Damn. That means there's got to be like a big need for more. Because there's always people missing. There's always people.
Well, I mean, we've been fortunate enough to not have too much of a missing case in Cambodia, but you never know. For example, when the tsunami hit in Thailand, where, missing people, there was a big tsunami years ago that hit, and there was a lot of missing people. I think with that being said, there was need, there was a recognition that they need search and rescue dogs to help find people. And so they created a search and rescue unit in 2014, I think, in Thailand. So it took them that long. So I imagine Cambodia was just kind of like, we're still considered a third world country. Therefore, we're still developing. And everything takes time. And everything takes finances. And it's a process. It's a big process. And with that being said, it's not easy doing what I do in Cambodia without having the heart, a big, big heart of gold to do what I do with the love. Yeah. I guess you could say in Khmer, ស្នេហាជាតិ យើងស្រឡាញ់ការងាររបស់យើង យើងចង់ជួយសង្គមបន្ថែមទៀតណា យើងជួយចែកម្លែកជំនាញរបស់យើង so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to do.
Nice. Can I ask you about your education about canines? Like how do you get started in being a canine?
Getting started was an easy thing. You just have to have a love for canines. And then once you have a love for canines, you have to have a passion for it. If you don't have a passion, you don't have the patience for it. If you don't have the patience, then this is not the job for you. This is not the career path for you. That's why I say it's hard to find someone to do what I do, because some people don't have the support, the logistics, and the means or opportunity or the finances to do what I'm doing. And that's why I say it's very hard to find someone to continue this. But I got started. My teacher, one of my my greatest mentor is Michael Lee. And Michael Lee is one of the, I guess, years ago, he won like 4th in the world international for dog training for they call it IPO, and before it used to be called Schutzen, dog training, and Schutzen is like protection, tracking, and obedience, sort of. Yeah, and they changed the name. So too much in politics why the name was changed to IPO, and now it's changed to something else. I can't keep up with it. But Michael Lee is one of my greatest mentor all time. And with him, I studied under him for about a month. About 30 days, a little intensive training in the jungle sometimes. And we sometimes in the middle of the night, we do dog training, and specifically we worked on search and rescue. That's where I got that skill. But as far as like the other skills, I learned other places where I studied in at seminars and craft school. I guess you can call it. I don't know how you call it. Sakasala, you know, yeah, seminars. So we learn. Teachers pass knowledge on to other teachers. So more or less, teacher training the student how to recognize dog body language, to train a dog, not only in obedience and understanding the dog, but also how to care for the dog, you know, to be a responsible dog owner. So I mean, it takes a lot to get into it. Like I said, it takes passion, takes love, because this is not a career that you could just go into, and then think you'll be successful in. Thinking you can watch YouTube videos and train dogs, and then all of a sudden, hey, look, I'm a dog trainer, and I can train your dog, and then all of a sudden the dog doesn't really do anything real. So it's not that simple. It can be if you're just training a pet. There's a difference between a pet and a working dog. You know, a working canine. There's a higher standard. You have to be able to make sure the dog pass a certain test, the good citizen test, make sure it understands how to behave in society, listens to your command. When you command it once, it has to obey, walk properly without pulling on a leash, all those things. It doesn't attack, it's not aggressive, doesn't bark improperly. So to have a search and rescue dog, those are the things that I look for in a canine, or rather, I want to teach to the canine to understand how to conform into human society, and then be able to listen to our commands.
Back to passion. When did you realize you had a passion for canines or animals?
I can't really specifically say I have. I just kept on doing it. I don't know. Khmer យើងថា តស៊ូ យើងចេះធ្វើ តស៊ូ you know. Even if I failed, I kept on going. I know I failed in it on what I did, some aspects, but I just kept on going. Failing. What I mean by failing is I didn't make any money out of it, right? I spent a lot of money opening up a school and then trying to be successful in training dogs, but I always end up sort of like, how do you say in English, living paycheck to paycheck, sort of, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then not having anything left. So that wasn't feasible. I mean, that wasn't, you know, it wasn't something that I foresee to continue doing. So I looked at it as a failure. But what I was successful in was my mission statement in my mind. I didn't tell people this. In my mind was to educate the public in Cambodia about dog ownership responsibility and how to raise a dog and how to train the dog. And that was it. That was just my mission statement in my mind. I'm like, this is what I want to get out. And I think I started doing that very well when I started doing these events in the past. I did prior to COVID. I did these events where hundreds of people showed up, 50 to 100, 200 sometimes, depending on the event. And I had sponsors. I had people organize it besides me, do these events, and I'll show up, you know, and I'll do Q&As. I'll do a little demonstration of Q&As, you know, and then people would show up, and then what happens at these events, we'll do like lottery drawings, and people get free gifts and stuff like that. This is how we market, not only to the people that want to market their products, but also to people that want to learn about dogs and about dog training, and they'll come ask me questions, and I'll do it for free. But then I also market myself for private dog training classes, and that's how that got about. So in the past, I was doing that. I also donated and helped out to the dog unit. There's a dog unit in Cambodia under the Ministry of Interior. There's a couple of dog units, but in the Ministry of Interior, which is they are in control of the Cambodian National Police. So if you were to compare that, that would be equivalent to the federal level. So you would say that would be like the federal police, and then you have the local police. So I work for the federal level, so to speak. I don't know how.
That one's which one again? The Royal or?
No. So the federal police, if I call federal police, that makes sense in English. But it's Cambodian National Police.
Okay.
So that's the CNP, Cambodian National Police. But under the under the title Ministry of Interior. So that's what I donated some equipment and some stuff like that. I get donations from people, and I'll donate dogs. I'll donate dog food, some training equipment. Sometimes I spend my own money to buy these things, and I'll just give it to them. Like in the past, I've done that, and you know, it gets quite expensive because just like any other place around the world, a canine unit is not self-sufficient. It relies heavily on donations, and any police department, you could actually research that and find it and search it in Google. Even in the U.S., the canine units are supported 50%, maybe more, by the community, not just from the local department, because there's not enough money in the budget for what a canine needs for training, realistic training, just even mock training or traveling to and from training, proper care of equipment, traveling, maintenance of a traveling vehicle or whatnot. So these are the things that people don't see. They just want to see the end result. But how can you give them a good end result without the proper tool?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, if you are drilling a hole into the wall, you will need a drill, you need a power cord, you need a drill bit, and then you need the screw. And then what kind of screw is it? Is it a flathead or a Phillips head? Then you need the Phillips head. You need all these things. Now, if it's a Phillips head and you only had a flathead, you might be able to get it to work. But if it's a flathead and you only have a Phillips head, how can you do the job without the proper tool? Similar concept. The principle is there. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm working. It's like a salmon swimming upstream. It's kind of what I'm going through.
A special thank you to Rattana for bringing over some German craft beer. We're still talking about dogs and canines.
Yeah.
But okay, so I asked you about your passion. I want to know, like, were you born that way? You were like dogs. you just came on. You're like dogs.
Wait, as soon as you said, was I born that way? I immediately thought of Lady Gaga. Was it?
Yeah.
Born That Way?
Pull that up, Tavrak. Note to Robin, might have to take this out. We'll get muted, but let's listen to it.
So no, I wasn't born this way. I grew up loving dogs. So yeah, it's just a matter of loving not just dogs, loving animals.
So you were born that way.
Damn it, I was born that way. That's why I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Tavrak. See, #daddy. I'm a dad, so I have dogs. I have
Dog daddy.
Dog daddy. I also have kids, just not just dogs.
So.
So yeah. So I was born that way.
Okay.
Damn it, you got me.
Nice. When did you really like? At what age did you have your first companion?
I don't know.
Did your parents always like dogs?
No,
Just you.
just me. My first and favorite animal was a cat. His name was, get this.
Oh.
I told you the story.
Yeah, you told me. They don't know.
Can you remember?
Thor.
No.
Hercules.
Nope. Close. You're getting close.
The god of something, man.
Yes, the god of Mount Olympus. Wow, how do you know that? You knew that.
Tavrak behind the computer.
You remembered.
He remembered.
Hey, how do you remember the story? I named it Zeus. And everybody's like, what? Hey, Zeus? I'm like, no, Zeus with the Z. E-U-S. Why did I name it that? Because he acted like he was a god. He was a cat.
Yeah. That's cats.
Yeah.
Would you say...
No. Oh, God.
Just no. would you say that to all the parents that don't approve of pets, you know, should I'm one of the I'm agent. You know, sometimes it's like a time constraint thing where you can't have pets. You know, you got to be able to take care of your pets.
Okay, so there's a couple factors. I understand what you're coming from.
All right.
Owning a pet is a big responsibility. You have to, first off, know that be able to financially support the pet. Meaning, are you able to buy the food for the pet? Not just for yourself. You have to be financially stable. So that means you have to be able to buy the food for the pet or make food for the pet because it's a living thing. Have time for the pet. Play with the pet. And play with the pet. And play with the pet. And love the pet. So it is time consuming. You have to love the pet. So it is time consuming. It takes time to build that bond with the pet. And then you also have to have patience because the pet will sometimes, not all the time, destroy your house depending on the pet. If it's a dog, your shoes can be chewed, your furniture, your moto, and whatnot. Electrical cords and stuff like that. So it can get expensive. Yes. And that is why I try to teach about dog ownership responsibility. Before you get a dog, are you able to, one, financially feed or financially take care of it? Rather, two, do you have time for it? Most importantly, do you have time for it? Because they're going to need your time. They're going to need your love. So, yeah, I understand where you come from. Some people just don't have the time or they're not emotionally ready. Sometimes people just cannot emotionally deal with another living animal or rather another living thing, let alone another human.
Yeah.
You know? So, it's like having a child. And that's a big responsibility. You just can't just go and take your child and drop it off at the local Wat. Just drop it off and then the monks be like, what are you doing? Oh, just dropping off my dog. Why? I can't take care of it. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like a walk of shame when you get caught dropping off your pet at the local temple. Yeah, and unfortunately in the past it's been known to happen. That's why I brought that up. Because people realize they can't take care of it. Sometimes, not just the dog, people just let the cat loose and just let it go. And guess what? If it's not neutered or spayed, it's going to just breed with other cats. And you have all these cats and millions of cats and oh my goodness, and then nobody's there to take care of them. And it's like that around the whole world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So be a responsible pet owner. Spay and neuter your pet. Don't be irresponsible and then take your pet and drop it off at someone's place or in any place. Before you even get a pet, think about it. ទី1 យើងអាចមានលទ្ធភាពនិងសមត្ថភាពថែរក្សាសត្វនឹងអត់យើងអាចទទួលខុសត្រូវពីរឿងសត្វនឹងអត់មុជទឹកឲ្យគាត់ឲ្យម្ហូបឲ្យគាត់លេងជាមួយគាត់យកសត្វនឹងហាត់ប្រាណថែរក្សាសុខភាពរបស់គាត់ចាក់វ៉ាក់សាំងឲ្យគាត់យកគាត់ទៅពេទ្យទៅអី stuff like that. Yeah, big responsibility. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Okay, so
let's turn back the clock.
I want to bring something up. So, before we turn back the clock, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2022, May is coming up. There's a pet expo in Siem Reap. That's right.
Ding!
Pet expo in Siem Reap. We're going to be doing dog ownership responsibility, say no to dog meat trade, say no to dog meat in general. Stuff like that. And then people can go this dog competition, ugly dog, cute dog, look like owner dog. and stuff like that. So I'll be one of the VIP judges. So look forward to seeing me there at Siem Reap, May 6th, 7th, and 8th. ខែ5ថ្ងៃទី6 7 8 ខែ5ថ្ងៃទី6 7 8គេមានកម្មវិធីមួយធំដុំជាលក្ខណៈធំមែនទែនក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាយើងពួកជនជាតិបរទេសក៏ធ្វើ event ហ្នឹង say no to សាច់ពិសេសនិយាយសាមញ្ញសាច់ឆ្កែអញ្ចឹងកម្មវិធីហ្នឹងគាត់ធ្វើអាហ្នឹងលក្ខណៈថាអប់រំប្រជាពលរដ្ឋយើងរឿងថាវាប៉ះពាល់អីមិនអីចឹងណាគេមានមនុស្សអ្នកជំនាញមកគ្រូពេទ្យអ្នកអង្គការអីខ្លះដែលចូលរួមលក្ខណៈ control event ចឹងណាវិញយើងធ្វើកម្មវិធីហ្នឹងនៅ Siem Reap នៅ Plow Kings Road it's in Siem Reap and also គេមានកម្មវិធីដូចកម្មវិធីប្រកួតយើងយកកូនឆ្កែយើងចោះឈ្មោះយើងយកកូនឆ្កែយើងមកប្រកួតថាឆ្កែយើងស្អាតជាងគេឆ្កែយើងវាឆ្លាតជាងគេឆ្កែយើងវាមើលថាមួយណាមើលដូចម្ចាស់យើងអាចយកមកពាក់កៅអៅដូចលក្ខណៈtwin អីចឹងណាតែគូគ្នាអញ្ចឹងក៏បានវិញខ្ញុំអ្នកចូលរួមក្នុងនឹងដែរជាគណៈកម្មការ yes that's me.
Let's turn back time and talk about your back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're turning time way back, aren't we? How many years ago?
On the day of question, it was August 28th, 2018. August 28th, was it? I can't remember.
So about 4 years ago and some change.
Yeah, it was. So I was being funny. It was August 25th, 2018. That Iជួបគ្រោះថ្នាក់ចរាចរណ៍ Yes, I had an accident. It was quite a big deal. At first it wasn't, and then it became big that I had an accident. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And it was getting people to get together as a community to help me. So yeah, it was, I don't know. It was to me it was an accident that changed my life. And I was brought back to this planet to do something bigger, and then that's where the dog stuff comes in. I think, if that makes sense. I was brought back for a purpose. Supposedly I died. I think, yeah. Supposedly I died. I was on ventilators, so that's why. So they had to keep my lungs working for me, and that's why I say that. So yeah, yep, that's what happened. 2018, and then here I am, doing what I do, training dogs. I know it's quite a long story, so I don't want to. It's too emotional. I'm here for fun.
All right. I feel you. But still have some lingering injuries from the accident. Once again, it's what type of accident?
I was on a moto, and it was a car accident, sort of a car accident moto. I don't know how to explain that. Yeah. The car hit me. The truck, the pickup truck, hit me, and I went in between the tires. And then he dragged me about 10 meters, then dragged me about 6 meters backwards under the truck between the tires. Between the axles and the bottom.
Yeah.
If you can picture that. I have a photo, but it'd be too graphic to show. So
yeah. But if you want to watch more on it, Rattana on his YouTube channel, Rattana Hin, is that right?
Rattana's Canine Consultant.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
All right. Rattana's Canine Consultant.
Oh, Canine Consultation. Sorry.
Bing! You can go to his channel here, and you can scroll through his page, and you can get the whole story there. He talks in depth about it.
Jazz is pregnant.
Ooh.
She's about to have babies soon. Obviously, I finance everything myself, training my dog, buying her equipment. Almost 99% of, okay, I can't say 99, 95% of the income from what I do with dog training goes back into training Jazz or maintaining my equipment and my vehicle for the use of a search and rescue unit. So, with that being said, this is the first time I'm actually doing a breeding program of Jazz to, number one, continue her lineage and have another dog available when we need it. And then also sell her puppies to finance our future dog training program of other things that needs to come up in maintaining equipment and medical expenses and food and whatnot that the canine needs. So yeah, it's gonna be the first time I'm doing that. I'm trying to be self-sufficient in a way of like finding small businesses to work on, like selling dog food and stuff like that. So I can take the money and then put it in, return it back into the training program to be self-sustainable, to make it sustain. So I don't have to use all my personal finances like I've been doing for the past 3 years. And it's been taking a heavy toll on me in these economic crisis times. Only if I was a millionaire.
I want to be a billionaire.
So freaking bad.
All of the things I never had. Play that song, Tabrak.
Bruno Mars.
I'm just kidding. Will Jazz be able to fund what you need through her puppies? So let's say how many puppies you expect her to have.
4 or 5.
And how you plan to keep one and then sell the rest?
Yep.
And then how much is one going to go for, you think?
Well, I'll try to keep it on an international standard. So hopefully I can support what I need to do for the next fiscal year by selling her puppies at a good price, but this price comes with some basic training of the puppies, and let me be clear about where the dogs will go. The dogs will go to who I think is suitable, has the time for it, who will take the time to learn the training from me to train their dog. So they have to be a really responsible owner. So again, before I decide to find the right owner for her, the owner needs to go through an interview process with me. Sort of, they kind of have to put in an application and explain why they want to be able to have her puppies or puppy to begin with. And then I'll decide whether or not I will give that puppy or sell that puppy rather to that person, because in a sense they are helping me to continue helping my training program, to continue helping the country doing what I do. It has to be something that's sustainable, I guess. I have to be able to find other means to pay for what I'm doing. You know, I mean, I literally have spent a lot of money to do what I do, and I'm not a rich guy. I don't have a lot of money, and it's taken a toll on me emotionally and financially to do what I do, to see what I've seen in the last few years. So just a recap, I've seen 2 collapsed buildings. I've seen unimaginable things with decapitated bodies and whatnot with my job. And then traveling to the provinces is not easy. And the most recent case was a killing of the entire family almost in Madolgari province. And we had to drive my pickup truck in through the woods, maybe 40 kilometers, and it's not normal, because there's no normal path for getting into up and down the hills and Rockies and creeks and crossing through meadows and then finding a dirt path all the way to Khmer យើងហៅជនជាតិភិតតិច the Khmer tribes where the crime happened in Moldova recently. I think it was really fairly recent. So yeah, it was quite yeah.
Can you go more into that case?
It's
a whole family murdered in a indigenous tribe.
yeah.
And man, I wonder how that works. Like indigenous tribes, they still resort to police and they still.
Well, I mean, obviously, there are local tribe police or local police that works with the local authorities. So they kind of, yeah, I don't know how that works. Obviously, I mean, I know to some extent how it works. You know, they have to report to the police if there's a crime that's happened, and they ask for help. And then not only that, they try to get help from NGOs and stuff like that. So, yeah, something like that. But yeah, so this is what Jazz and I've been doing. I'm preparing for the future by continuing the program because Jazz is getting older. She's 4 years old now. Come May 1st, she'll be 4 years old. And I need to be able to continue training, not just her, but continue training someone that's willing to be my protege. If you're willing, if you're looking, ចង់រៀនធ្វើគ្រូបង្ហាត់ឆ្កែដូចខ្ញុំចង់បានជំនាញថាបង្ហាត់ឆ្កែដូចខ្ញុំតំណែងតំណងមក Yeah. ចាំញឹមសម្ភារ They have to have time. Takes a lot of time. That's why I'm always busy.
Is it going to take money?
Take money for them to travel, yeah.
But
I'm not going to pay for it.
But like,
I don't have the money.
You going to teach them for free?
Yeah.
Really?
Why not? If they're willing to commit their time so that I don't waste my time, I will teach them for free. But if they want to waste my time, then that's not for free. I have to. That's why I said I will compare, meaning I'll interview them to see how serious they are. They have the time for it.
That's a pretty good, cool offer. I mean, I understand your goal now. You have this knowledge that's international. Cambodia has a need for it. Cambodia can expand it. And what you do is not cheap. But I'm sorry to say this, but labor in Cambodia
It's cheap.
is cheap. So if you want to teach somebody, or if somebody wants to learn what you have, they have to pay a lot of money. But what you're saying is you're willing to teach it so that Cambodia can have it for its own. And then whoever wants to learn can learn from a Cambodian trainer at an affordable price. And then the whole country has access to canine tools that can help save people's lives and make the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, let's backtrack. I can teach it for free, but for those that don't have the means or opportunities to learn, to pay for it. All right. So let me backtrack on that and just reiterate. I can teach it for free, and I want to teach it for free to those that cannot pay for it. Because in the future, I want to be able to be self-sustainable and then continue the program. But how do you do it? I have to be able to find funding. And I can't go and ask everybody for, hey, can you donate to my... No, I have to be able to find ways to pay for my program. So paying for it, I have to be able to charge for some of my training. So it's not all free. And then they can learn from me, and then in the future they can work for me, you know, and they could pay it off like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know, in a way. Sort of kind of like works itself out, sort of. I don't know. The details will come later. I'm working on it, but I'm still in need of someone that has the passion to be a dog trainer. So it's going to be a program called Trainer for Trainers. Training for trainers. I want to train trainers so someone could train other people. You don't want to just be a canine handler, you want to be able to have the entire knowledge, so you can train. For one, you have to be able to understand dog body language, be able to decipher it, be able to find solutions for it. You have to be able to be good at problem solving, deal with dog issues, deal with climate issues, deal with environmental issues, deal with the dog health, how to work with the locals, be good at communicating with the locals, and express yourself, be patient. So these are the qualities and things that this person needs to be able to do. So it's a high standard. As you can see, I have a very high standard for what I'm looking for. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a canine unit, and they do what they do. They do the general duties. They do narcotics detection. Then there's the private sector where they do the demining of landmines, explosives, UXOs, unexplosive ordinances, stuff like that. What I do is on a different spectrum. I do search and rescue. Just trying to find people, hopefully alive. And that's it. And then there's the other aspect of dog training where I want to train all the other stuff too, so that, they have to learn all these things. And then there's one thing that we don't also have in Cambodia is cadaver dog.
What's that?
A dog that can search for dead bodies.
Didn't Jazz just do that?
No, Jazz is not a dead body. She's looking for a scent of a human that was alive. So the child recently passed away, so the scent is still strong over the water of the child. So the article of clothing she sniffed is still fresh, and then therefore it led her to where it was still fresh, lingering over the water. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a smell of a dead body, because if it was a smell of a dead body, then people would have been able to smell it fast and found the body. Yeah. But that takes days to happen. Yeah, something like that.
So a cadaver dog just focuses on sniffing dead things.
Dead things. Dead things.
That must suck to be a trainer for a cadaver dog. You smell dead stuff all the time.
It's like sniffing lupram. You ever been to lupram?
I know. Is that the one Tutapong?
Oh no, it's the one that you drive on beach at Moy.
Okay.
And line Satani Bom Tap line Lu Nang.
Oh,
yeah.
Lu.
I know it's on 271. And then there's also on the Lim Ching Hat. When you go down to Lim Ching Hat, that area, that's Lupram.
The stinky stinks here.
Yeah, there's only one stinky stink area. Oh, sorry.
There's a lot of stinky stinks in Cambodia.
Well, I'm talking about the Lu, Khmer How Lu, and we get that terminology from the British.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the loo.
And in America, they call it sewers.
Sewers.
Damn, Americans have to change everything.
Poo in the loo. I don't know if I should put that in the podcast.
No, edit that out.
Edit that out.
I don't know. Okay. So, what we got?
What we got? Let's that was a good. Anything you wanna?
Oh, we got.
You wanna plug in Ben Davis? Want to talk about Ben Davis and our trip?
Oh yeah, we did a trip to Prefi here.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how did you like that trip?
Let's give some backstory about that. Maybe a week after we did our little video,
yep,
you were like, "Hey, Robin, want to go to Prefi here?" And I was like,
"You were in Battambang at the time."
Yeah. Oh my God, I went out of my way to go there, and you were like, "You know Ben Davis?" I was like, "No." You don't know Ben Davis? Oh, that Ben Davis. Yeah. Okay, I know Ben Davis. I was with my wife in Battambang, and then she was like, "All right, baby, you gotta go. I was like, "I gotta go, baby." This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it really was. So I went all the way back to
Phnom Penh.
Phnom Penh from Battambang
In the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night, and the freaking car
Broke down.
it didn't break down. It hit like a speed bump, and the police came out. They were like, "You owe us money," and then the guy gave money. We were on our way. But anyways,
Oh, you went on a taxi.
yeah, I went on one of the VIP vans.
Okay.
That shit was scary, man. Those guys drive like crazy.
I know. I'm scared of them.
I always prefer to ride a big bus than a VIP van.
It seems safer.
It does. I get to Phnom Penh, and then we decided to leave at really early.
Yeah.
Oh, we went with Tan Kim Sor,
Yeah, Tan Kim 5 a.m. 5 or 6 a.m.
5 a.m. And then we rode to somewhere, and he was with his homies in a van.
Let's explain who Tan Kim So is. Tan Kim So is one of those he's a local, well-known sort of celebrity activist, and his parents are of high influence people of Cambodia, but he decided to go to the activist road, and he's really into activism with saving and preserving the future of Cambodia's nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so now go back to you.
I hop into Rattana's car.
Yep.
His cool Nissan with the sirens going whoop whoop,
No.
and Jazz is in the back.
Yep.
And then we are like, "Hey, Tan Kim Sor, where are you?" And he's in this field with the volleyball net.
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
chilling,
yeah.
eating some cup noodle ramen.
He asked us, "Hey, you want some?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." And then I was like, "Hey, who are these guys?" And he's like, "Oh, these used to be illegal bloggers, and now they're with me." I was like, "All right, interesting."
Yeah. He convinced them to stop illegally logging to help preserve the forest instead by explaining it to them how devastating it is, and you can find other ways of making money instead of illegally logging.
He was
So
like,
that was pretty cool.
"Join the good side. Get out of the dark side." They were like, "Okay, boss."
Okay.
Hop into my van. And they're on this adventure like dun, 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 dun.
Oh my god, he drives so fast.
Yeah, you got lost like a couple times around the corners.
Yeah, and then we caught up.
Yeah.
I don't like driving fast in Cambodia.
And then the road to Breve here, the road to Beach Reed. So we're going to Beach Reed
Oh my
to meet Ben Davis. And then along the way, you're like, "Is this the right road, Robin?" God, like the road's like this. We have some video of it.
Sorry,
so we were there because Ben Davis
Got some
contacted
stories.
you for
dog training.
Yeah. So Ben Davis is a guy who fights illegal loggers,
Yes.
and he's not from Cambodia, but recently he just got his Cambodian citizenship.
Yep.
And he and his wife Shireen and his family live in the Prevahir forest, just protecting it. That's it.
For over 20 something years, 30 now.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
And the way he protects it is he goes into the forest at night because the loggers are very smart. If they cut in the daylight, you can see them, you can catch them. And they know that, the normal person is sleeping at nighttime, so they're safer. But Ben Davis is like, "I know you are thinking like that, so I'm going to go out at night on my own 2 feet with a couple soldiers and catch you with my bare hands." So his tactic is find them, and your specialty is finding people with a canine.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was like, "Hey, Rattana, I'd like to contact you."
Yeah.
And you were like,
Let's go.
"Robin, you want to film some cool stuff?"
Yeah. So when he asked me, "Can I train a dog?" and I was like, "Yeah, I can train a dog for that, but I have to see what you're working with and how we're gonna do it." It was an adventure that it was once in a lifetime getting up there, and thanks to Tan Kim Sua for driving us on the most dangerous, rocky, messed up plow ever.
Oh,
Go Yun Chi.
yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those. And then when we got there, Ben was like, "Oh, so you took that road? You could have took the nicer way."
Yeah, Ben Davis was like, "Ah,
And then Tam Kim Soo was like, "No, we wanted to give him the tour."
that's a pip."
That's pip. I'm like, that could have saved us a lot of time and effort driving through this, because it was like,
And you're like, "My back."
yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so that was that. I went up there to go talk to him about that. And then you went on an adventure with him, and then you met Molly.
Oh, the monk, the
I have
gibbon,
no-
the gibbon.
Molly.
Man, gibbons freak me out.
Well,
They freaked you out too, right?
She scared the shit out of me. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay still.
And Ben's like, "Don't look at it in the eyes." I'm like,
Don't wear a hat." I'm like, what?
Don't be bald.
What hat?
Dude,
That was just really like, I've never, like, literally like, oh my god, here she comes. She's coming. Oh my god, there she is. Oh my
it's like the T-Rex scene in Jurassic Park.
yeah, yeah.
And then like she's looking at you, gets really close.
No.
Something else.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool though. It was quite wild.
Yeah. A lot of interesting wild animals.
My favorite was the pheasants.
The peacocks, right?
Peacocks, rather. Peacocks.
The mafia peacocks.
Oh my god, yeah.
We got a video of that
I made
too.
a TikTok. I
Yeah.
made a TikTok. It was quite funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Check out Rattana's TikTok.
Rattana's K9.
Rattana's Canine on TikTok. You'll see it there.
Yeah.
He dubs it. It was very comedic. They're like 1,
Yeah,
3, and then one of them was like, "Meow. They got a dog." One runs off. The other 3 are like, "Leave no soldier behind." Dum, 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 dum.
And then he's just like, "Oh, you're leaving?" No, I'm leaving. I'm not staying with you. And he just turned around
Yeah.
as soon as Jazz barked.
Yeah. Horses too. You know that.
Yeah, two
that
horses that freaked me out. We were going up to that hill,
Yeah.
to that tree house,
Yeah.
and then he just came out of nowhere.
And
Remember?
they seem really like not happy with us. They're like, they were like,
Yeah.
and like flexing and like,
Yeah. Like, who are you walking up on here?
yeah.
And then that's when we had to call for backup.
From the daughter, save us.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, Sharon, your horses are scaring us. Can you send someone? Yeah, I'll send my daughter. Okay, thanks.
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But to be quite honest, they got a dog. I helped them train their dog. Believe it or not, online, through video chats and teaching their daughter, and the daughter did pretty good. She did a lot of YouTube research and videos and watching and whatnot, how to train the dog to sort of track for a human, because there's a way how to you can teach the dog how to do it. And then she had more or less my pointers, so I was her guidance, guiding her, making sure she was on the right path to training the dog to find what it needs to find.
Nice.
So I guess now they have a dog that loves Ben and travels with Ben everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's cool. So if you do go to Beach Tree, you'll see the dog.
You want to share like what you gave to him? No.
So during that time, going up there, I had some people help donate some stuff. Private donors donated some equipment for him to use. I donated 2 bulletproof vests.
Can I stop you right there? You know, when I went with you, I did not expect it to be like that, like crazy.
Oh,
I was like, hey, why are there bulletproof vests in your car? And where are we going?
well, I did tell you that we're gonna probably maybe
like gold, yeah, night scoping.
Yeah, and we might need the bulletproof vest. And you're like, what? So I'm like, yeah, I have bulletproof vest. We have these light armors for that purpose. For the reason is that these people that are illegal loggers, they have homemade guns that can shoot, repel. How do you call that?
Shrapnel, just straight up metal.
Yeah, metal. Like, and it's like a sort of screw that comes out, and it's a shrapnel, and it's like a bullet.
Yeah.
So they have that.
And the crazy thing is, like, these bullets, these pieces of metal, they do way more damage than bullets because they enter the body and they exit like that big. So a regular bullet will just go through you, but
this will kind of like
leave a
damage
hole.
you. Yeah.
Leave a hole.
Yeah.
And it's very surprising that Ben is, well, you know, Ben has been doing this for a long time, and these illegal loggers and poachers are out there every day with these weapons of mass human destruction.
Yeah, it was quite scary.
Yeah, Ben really needed your help with those bulletproof vests.
Oh my goodness, did he? I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to help with anything. We got some knives donated, some sort of like a sword, and then I got him some
Pepper spray?
Pepper
Tasers?
sprays. Yeah, the pepper sprays.
Tasers.
He bought them, and then also the taser.
Yeah.
bought the taser that shoots out. So like yeah, got him one of those. I got him one of those. It was kind of expensive, so I couldn't actually donate it. He paid for it.
Yeah.
I just bought it. I went out and to go look for it and buy it, and then bring it to him. Yeah. So that was cool. I felt like I helped out a little bit.
No, you helped out a lot. It's surreal. Seeing you, like, seeing them, seeing the soldiers, I don't know how to call them, patrollers. Seeing the people who patrol.
Yeah, they were they're military police.
Seeing the military police put on the bulletproof vest.
I have a photo of that.
Seeing them accept your daggers. Seeing them go, damn, we really need this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so that's really cool. Did Ben Davis reach out to you, or did you reach out to Ben Davis?
Sharon reached out to me. She reached out to me because I think it had something to do with dogs and sniffing out a certain type of having to train a dog for sniffing out for trees or something like that. And so they were trying to find a company that was gonna do that for them in the States.
Yeah.
Something like that. So and then she reached out to me, and I told her it was quite a long time before we actually got to the point where I decided to go up there, and I had finally had some free time, and luckily I had a couple days free. So, and then it was just by pure coincidence he came and did the video, and then I'm like, hey, maybe he wants the video. Let me ask if you've ever been up there and ask if you knew who he was and stuff. And then I was like, this is good to do Robin in Cambodia.
I never edited the video.
You never?
But I have all the files to be disclosed because there's a lot of things that are touchy in that video.
Yes, you can't talk about.
I can't talk about it. I can't
the homemade
show
gun.
it. I can't.
You can't even talk about the homemade guns.
But like I said, that's the coolest part.
I know, you can't even show it.
It's something we can't tell you why either.
Yeah, we can't even talk about it.
We'll just make you wish you knew. Whoever's
Yeah.
listening out there, DM me if you want to know.
No, don't do it. Come down. Oh, good story though. When I drop you off at Ben's house,
Yeah.
in the middle of the woods, we're in the middle of the woods. I drop him off, and it's pitch dark. I think it's a good story. I backed up into a tree.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how that happened, but I backed up into the tree and I lightly touched the tree and it broke my stoplight. And I'm like, how is that even possible?
No, it was really like this.
And the tree's still standing, but the whole thing broke. And I'm like, I ran upstairs and, hey, Robin, I got to do this. And I asked for glue if you had any glue.
Tape for glue?
I asked if you had any super glue. Just by pure coincidence, do you have super glue, Robin? He's like, why would I? Yeah, I just hit a tree. That was funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And it was pitch dark. You couldn't see anything. Where I was parking the truck.
It was scary sleeping that night. I don't know. Did you sleep like swell or?
I could sleep through anything almost.
Dude, I heard footsteps at night. I heard.
Yeah, jazz.
No, like under our. It was like I think it was hogs, like wild hogs, and they were loud.
Yeah, they're running around. Yeah, because Jazz was hearing them, and Jazz was when she heard them, she makes the noise.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was quite scary. Okay, so this is cool. I like this.
Yeah, this is chill.
I like this chair.
I'll get more comfortable chairs, and we'll have a nice cozy setup.
Yeah.
But for me, I just love that we can turn the AC on, not have it back wall with the microphones, and
That's new.
this is new.
No, I meant the AC.
That was here before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this is what enables us to have
yes.
good audio.
The Roadcaster.
The Roadcaster Pro.
What else
Yeah.
we got?
I think let's try to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We can do a part 2, part 3, and part 4 later. Oh, have you seen that TikTok of the guy who's like freaking out that somebody ate his dog?
Okay, so we have 5 minutes to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so recently there was a case that happened in Cambodia where a guy went live. He had some huskies, and they went missing. And the construction workers that lived near his house is building a house near his house. Apparently stole his dogs, killed them, and made food of his dogs. So that's why part of the no dog meat campaign thing. So they were cooking, in a way, skinning his dogs that's already dead. These are huskies that he raised for years, and they killed them because they said that his huskies killed their chickens. Seriously? Yeah. Their dogs killed your chicken, and you decide to steal their 3 dogs from their cage and then kill it to make it food for yourselves. So all 9 of them got arrested after an investigation. After he was live, he had over 500K views, almost a million views, I would say, maybe more than 500.
Yeah.
It was quite popular, and so it went viral, and then the local authorities went and investigated. While he was there, they were called on the scene and investigating, and end up finding 9 guys rather responsible, and arrested them, and brought them up on charges against destruction of property, because there is no law against eating dogs or killing a pet in Cambodia. Well, sorry, in the majority of Cambodia. There is a law in the province of Siem Reap. It's illegal to eat and kill dogs, but not in the rest of Cambodia. So, just to be clear, there is, because the governor of that province made it a law.
Wow.
But there is a law on destruction and theft of property and destroying property, so they were going to be held accountable to the highest extent of that law if found guilty. And they pretty much were found guilty. There was videotape live. So that's pretty much the evidence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I never got closure. I just saw the video of him crying and saying, my dogs, my kids.
It was quite graphic. I'm surprised it was still up. You saw dead pieces of dog everywhere, dead blood, and the dog's head in the background and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was graphic. But it wasn't human, so that's probably why it didn't get blocked.
Mm.
But yeah, it was quite a sad day. On that same note, I posted what CPU was doing in the province about a missing girl that didn't go to school. That she went to school. She was 7 years old. She was missing because by the end of the day, she didn't come back from school. The investigation led to the point where they found her body. She was murdered and raped. She was 7 years old. And they're still investigating. I think, from what I understand, it's still under investigation. So I can't speak any further. But I was talking about that because they're investigating that. It was posted on the CPU's page.
Mm.
Yeah. So you can follow CPU, support them, help them out, whatever you can. You know, do you know anything about crimes against kids under the age of 16 or 15, something like that? You can report it to your local authorities, or you can message directly to the Child Protection Unit page of Cambodia.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. That is all. Thank you very much for that very cool podcast, Rattana. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, share, subscribe. Follow Rattana on his Facebooks.
Hin Rattana and Rattana Hin. One in Khmer and one in English. You could also follow Jazz when I do post stuff about Jazz. Stay tuned because I will post more about Jazz's puppies coming soon. I'll call you when that happens.
We'll bring her into the studio. Be like,
no,
hey.
I'll bring the studio too. No, I'm just kidding.
Ding Muay Thai Muay.
No. Okay. All right.
Like look later.
Look later. Yeah. Ding the lie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it's called. Ding the lie. All right. Cool.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace out. Thank you.